Gladstone has shown is like he ain't sitting around. So, I mean, I feel like there is a move coming on to Gary's point, and I don't know where that's going to end up.
Yeah.
But the one thing this is not a full suggestion. Here's the disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a curiosity. Right now, one of their weakest positions on the football team is the wide receiver spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's inconsistent. As much as anything else on their team, it's inconsistent. I don't know if it's bad because there are highlight moments. Travis Hunter's starting to come out of it. Brian Thomas Jr.'s had some nice moments.
Yeah.
Parker Washington has had some nice moments. It is freaking inconsistent, though. Maybe more than anything else on this team, even more than the quarterback. I mean, I think. So, what can you upgrade that? Do you go get Olave? Do you go get a Waddle? Does it have to be an upgrade to that degree? A lot of people want to mention Jacoby Myers. Can you go get a guy like that? Is there a way to enhance your receiving core, which right now you could debate is and has been the most inconsistent to worst part of your football team here in 2025? And nobody would have predicted that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, could you get a guy like Olave? I mean, I don't know what the contracts look like if they have to be re-signed. I assume they would.
He would.
Right?
He's looking for an extension. He's been a banged-up player. He's 25 years old.
Yeah.
But this would be, hey, we don't really believe in Brian Thomas Jr. in the long run.
If that's the case, then you're going to probably have to ship Brian Thomas Jr. out.
That would be my next thing. Can then you ship him in a pick? This was my wild scenario, by the way.
Okay.
You go get
Playing
an Olave or a Waddle or whatever else, and then you take Brian Thomas Jr., give him a change of scenery, along with a pick. You got 13 of them or whatever, and go get a defensive interior lineman, which you are hurting for. It's been 4 years to try to figure out this position, and you can't. So then you go get a bigger name. It might not be Dexter Lawrence, by the way, but now, I mean, could you do that? That is my Madden kind of. And I'm not endorsing this. I'm just saying, could something like that really change your football team for now and for the future with some fixes that we think on both sides of the ball are the biggest problem spots at the moment?
I mean, it does make some sense. And like I always say, like the salary cap's not a real thing. I would wonder, though, how much Chris Olave would cost you if you were going to bring him here. Because I feel like he probably have to pay him top 5 money, even though you wouldn't really consider him a top 5 wide receiver at this point. Like he plays on a bad offense, so it's hard to say like how good the dude is.
And he's been hurt.
Yeah, and,
so I think that
he has
drops
been a little
the
banged
dollar
up.
Down.
Yeah, but I still feel like there's the market is rising for a wide receiver. So you got to pay him another deal. Are you going to pay Trayvon Walker? What are you going to do with him? So like I get it. You can always move around the salary cap and everything and make it work for you. I would, if I'm going to bring in a guy like Waddle or Chris Olave, I better have in my back pocket that I'm going to get top dollar for Brian Thomas Jr. then.
Yeah, and I don't know what top dollar is. You're not going to get a first-round pick back.
No. I mean, that's obviously not. But, like, what does it look like then? Like, there's no team that's going to be willing to give up a first-round pick. A legit defensive tackle? Probably not either. So now we're talking like, okay, do you get a third or even a fourth for Brian Thomas Jr.? If that's the case, I would much rather like ride it out and see them.
You would.
And I would if I'm getting a third or fourth for Brian Thomas Jr., I would ride out this season and see if I can try to salvage something. And when I say ride out the season, I don't mean like he's your number one receiver still. Like no, I think you're gonna feature a lot more Travis Hunter, but I'm gonna see exactly what he can bring to the table in Brian Thomas Jr.
Hamby, what do you make of this? And again, this is just total theory, guy. Like I think
Casey, clip it. Brent wants to trade Brian Thomas Jr.
Well,
let's go.
Here's the thing. Here's what I do believe, right? I mean, we do this 3 hours a day. We talk to Jags a lot, and we've done fly on the wall before, and maybe we should bring it back. But I think these are the conversations that actually do take place. You can't get anything off the board. Now, I could sit there at the same table as James Gladstone, Tony Baselli, and Liam Cohen. I could suggest this before we bring the money guy in and be like, Brent, you're an idiot. Like, they might say that. Now, I know social media will say that. But, I mean, they might say that. But they might not. Like, those are two positions that we know right now are not great, inconsistent. And to me, Hamby, the question is, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, how much do you believe in Brian Thomas Jr.? It's apparent they believe in Cam Little. They are not bringing in a kicker. They're going to let him kick through it. Do you continue to let him play through this with his talents? I'm a big fan of Brian Thomas Jr., extremely talented player. But right now, it doesn't fit. That's the right now. What do you balance with a 22-year-old player that could be a perennially good receiver in the National Football League? Do you give up on that? Do you nurture that? Do you work through that at the expense of potentially this year missing some big plays that could cost you a playoff spot, quite frankly?
Yeah, I always go back to what we talked about all offseason when Liam Cohen kind of first got the job and how highly he spoke of Brian Thomas Jr., that he's special and, wanted the offense to run through him and all those things. I don't know if they'll give up on him after 7 games. He's had 1 or 2 good games in those 7. So I would be hesitant to say they would give up on him now, especially because a lot of the conversation before this offseason is how much is this front office, Gladstone and Baselli, how much are they going to play for this year? How much are they looking forward to the future? And
they have to play for this year right now.
I understand that, but I think they're still going to
drafting Travis Hunter said that.
Yeah, 4 and 3 says that.
I get it, but at the same time, I think they're trying to be forward and future thinking as much as possible, as well, to balance those two things out. And I think that would be what keeps them from doing anything with Brian Thomas Jr. because they're going to err on the side of he's 23. If anybody can nurture him, if anybody can get the best out of him, we think we can. We want to take the patient route with him and we got him for 3 more years after this year. We're going to bet on him, ourselves to be able to make this a working relationship to where we can get what, top 10 type numbers out of him. And
yeah, that's what they're expecting this year.
And disregard what we've seen the last couple weeks.
7 weeks. So not couple. 7 weeks.
Here's how I look at it. Once again, now I'm on the fence because you see both sides, right? But here's what I think they should do. If you could get a defensive tackle for Brian Thomas, a legit one that could come in right away and make a difference, I think if you're James Gladstone, you definitely consider that. That's not going to happen though. You're not going to have Jeffrey Simmons isn't coming here for Brian Thomas Jr. Right? There's no way. You think the Tennessee Titans would trade Simmons for Brian Thomas Jr.? Okay, see, I don't think that, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think you might have to give up a pick as well. But
you're saying that the Jags have to give up a pick.
Yeah. Because of what it's been like this year, I think you might have to also throw in a 5th round pick or something. But for a player to that degree.
Correct.
But do I think that? I don't know how much sense that makes for Jacksonville given Simmons' age right now.
Because then you're gonna have to pay him.
Well, he's already making it, right? I don't know where he's at contract wise right now, but yeah, I think they would think about that. Now that's an in-division trade, which makes it even harder.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think they would.
See,
now Dexter Lawrence, not so sure.
See, I don't think Dexter Lawrence. I don't think Jeffrey Simmons either. I don't think there's anybody out there that would be willing to trade their star defensive tackle for Brian Thomas Jr. just based off what Brian Thomas Jr. is doing this year. Now, maybe there is maybe the Titans want to go, hey, let's help out Cam Ward. Calvin Ridley's been banged up and everything. Let's get him in here.
I think they might do it.
For what Jeffrey Simmons means to that city, let's be honest, he's their best player. By far on that team. We've seen what happens when you trade your best player away. Now, maybe the Tennessee Titans are dumb enough to do it, and if so, then James Gladstone pull the trigger. I just don't see it happening. So the thing with Brian Thomas Jr. is that